Everybody, now in the minds of many people, hello over there, the kitchen is the most important room in the house. Keeping a kitchen organized and healthy is clearly a priority, but it's often much more difficult than you would expect. And we're joined now by Colette Robicheau, who is a professional organizer, and she's going to try to get us organized in the kitchen. So where do we begin? What's the first step in getting yourself we were joking about the word feng shui in the commercial break there, but a good feeling and organized kitchen.
Yeah, it's really the epicenter of the house. So we want to be stress-free, we want to be efficient, and often this time of year, the key goals for us would be to be organized and be healthy. And by being more organized, we can be more healthy, and that often starts in the kitchen. Okay,
so what's step number one? And I'm sure you've come across those messy kitchens. When you see friends with one, do you offer advice, or do you just kind of quietly sit back and go,
no,
I can work wonders here?
If I'm not being paid, I can sit back.
Right.
So I'm okay with that. No one needs to be paranoid when I'm coming to visit. But a good place to start would be just thinking about how much food we're actually wasting. And that's Stats Can tells us that's up to 35% of our produce and fruits are being wasted. So if we start there and think about how can we save that a little bit more by using it more regularly, being able to find it and storing it properly in containers like this.
I feel guilty as soon as I hear that. I mean, so many parts of the world, they're so desperate for food, and here we're wasting 30%.
Exactly, and at times like this when we're thinking ahead to what the economy brings to us too, 35% of our grocery bill, or that can make a big difference for us. So think about how you're going to store it. Containers like this that are clear so you can see it to reuse it again. Have a separate section in the refrigerator just for leftovers so it makes it easy to grab them again, that they're not buried and that you can get to them. And even by putting a label, using a labeler, putting a label on it to say what it is, or that it's kid friendly, that it's allergy free, a little happy face or something, that we're reusing that food and not letting it go into our compost or into our garbage.
The label and the transparency is just sort of like a little visual reminder, I think, for you when you open up the fridge to say, right, that's what it is. Because often I find if you wrap something in tin foil, right, and say, yeah, I'm going to have that later tonight or tomorrow, well, you sort of, if you don't know what it is, you forget all about it.
And think about it, if you're not wrapping it and one other person is putting the food away, you may have 2, 3, 4 other people in the house that have no idea what's in that container. So immediately the chances of that going into the garbage or compost is heightened as well.
And the information you sent us and the tips here, you said break the kitchen down into zones too. What do you mean by breaking it into zones?
Well, think of that, it's like any of our goals this time of year. Think of breaking it down into little chunks of what you might do. So it might be you're going to think about just doing the cupboards. You're going to think about doing the refrigerator section. You're going to think about doing the freezer. You're going to think about the healthy area around the sink and how do we keep that cleaner, what makes it easier for us. A lot of times as we open those doors and everything flies out and you just shut the door, shove it all back in and say, forget about it, I can't handle this, it's too much. But if you just picked one cupboard at a time and approach that, that would be much easier for most of us.
We treat cupboards like closets in some ways, don't we? Just shove it to the back and forget all about it there. Colette, before we run out of time, I know more and more people are concerned about the kitchen, keeping germs out of the kitchen, making sure that they don't get food poisoning or their families as well. Is technology meeting up with that need?
Sure. This, for instance, is a product that has some antimicrobial items in it, and so that'll keep it much cleaner. If you see that your items have stains or are chipped or something like that, really think about replacing that. But also think about your sense of clean. That doesn't mean that it has to be chemicals. There's wonderful products out there that don't have allergens in it, are environmentally friendly and non-toxic as well. So think about what clean really means. It doesn't necessarily have to mean that chemical clean, just that it is clean. And often our kitchen sink is not as clean as our bathroom sink. So something to think about.
I know we're almost out of time, but I have to ask, people at home probably wondering too, what these two items
These are great products, something to stack your pans and something to take care of all those lids, which another thing we have our lids for our pots and pans that are often strewn all over. They can stack up here, and this item slides right out of your drawer in your cupboard, and it makes it much easier.
You can probably keep them dry too, well, and if you keep them dry, again, you're keeping bacteria
and easy to find the right one.
All right, Colette Robicheau, thank you very much. Colette is a professional organizer. If you'd like to find more information, let's show you that website on the screen, organizeanything.com. That is the website right there. Check it out, and you'll find lots of great tips. Right now we're going to take a break. We'll be back in 2 minutes' time.